What's up? How y'all doing? So I want to share something with you guys. I was having a conversation with my cousin earlier. We were just chopping it up, catching up, talking, and he said something really intriguing to me, and it caught me and catch me. He was sharing a conversation that he had with one of his co-workers, which is he's an African. He's from Africa, and he was saying to me that, do you know that all the story books that we had in Jamaica that we were reading, that this guy know all of them? And he was saying, how come? And I was saying the same thing, because Africa is thousands of miles away from Jamaica. So he was saying that, he said even the announcer storybook that we had in Jamaica, he said that guy was actually a real person. Anansi was real. He was actually a real person. He said the African guy said that way back before they had TV and internet, this guy used to go from the village entertaining the villagers before TV. And he called himself the Anansi guy, and there was another guy called himself the Spider guy. Yep, we have these books in Jamaica. They are in our schools. And I was saying, what? He said, and all the other books that we read, he said the guy knows all of them. And that was very intriguing me. He hit me so bad that when we finished our conversation, I went to look it up. I went to do a little quick research, and this is what I found out. Most of these books that we have in the third world country, Caribbean, and third world overall, we think they are stories, but they're not stories. They are real people, the event. These are real stories from real people which were slaves back in the days. And the people that cloned and captured, they took the stories, whether they took it by force or they were written down what the slaves were saying, singing and dancing about. And they repackaged it and they give it to us. Actually, they sold this to us as story. Because I think these things was fairy tale. I thought Anansi and all these books was fairy tale. I didn't know they were actually real persons. Yep. So I did some more research. And you know what? It's the same system that was way thousands of years before called Babylon. Yep. There's this character in the Bible called Nimrod. And there are those three characters as well. Later, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These ones are their real names. After they were kidnapped by this king named Nimrod, they were brought to Babylon, and they engrafted them by changing their names. Once you change your name, you change your identity. That's what Nimrod did. After God destroyed that city, that structure that was called Babylon, the Bible said there would never be a next structure called Babylon. But you know what? It continues. Babylon has took on that system. You would never find a structure that is called Babylon, but there's a system continues. Because the system is spiritual, it's not physical. It's spiritual with physical attributes. Meaning, if you want to, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of nation that is no more. The name of disappeared from off the face of the earth. They're not dead. A lot of them are not dead. They're still alive as a nation. But their heritage is no more. Because what? Their name has been changed. A nation without a name and a heritage is like black people. Yep. Black people in a whole. A lot of us don't know our heritage. So if we don't know our heritage, we don't know what we're about. Black people history start from Marcus Garvey. Beyond that, I don't know what's beyond that. Beyond that is slavery. But they gave us Marcus Garvey. They changed our name, so we don't have an identity. So this is why black people can fit in any and everything, and we can actually control that thing. Notice, the system is what we call the government. How can a brother like me with this complexion as a name Miller? How can a sister like you as a name White, and a brother like you as a name Black? Mr. Black, Mr. White, Mr. Brown, where did his name came from? Who gave us these names? The system is alive, but the foundation of Babylon has been destroyed. The system is what gave us our birth paper, our birth certificate. That's how you engraft in the system. They gave you a number, and everywhere you go, you present that number. And that's how they identify you in the system. It's done. But let me tell you this. You will never be free mentally until you find out what you were created for, who you were created by, and why you were created. You understand? Never. Because it's a spiritual thing. But I have a video for you guys. I want to check out this video and leave your opinion and let me know what you think. Until then, one love.
Thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name Yasharal may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
These names, and therefore he teaches us that during slavery, the same slave master who owned us put his last name on us to denote that we were his property. But when you see a Negro today who's named Johnson, if you go back in his history, you'll find that he was once his grandfather, or one of his forefathers was owned by a white man who was named Johnson. His name is Bunch. His grandfather was owned by a white man that was named Bunch.
Would you mind telling me what your father's last name was?
My father didn't know his last name. My father got his last name from his grandfather, and his grandfather got it from his grandfather, who got it from the slave master. The real names of our people were destroyed during slavery.
Was there any line, any point in the genealogy of your family when you did have to use the last name, and if so, what was it?
The last name of my forefathers was taken from them when they were brought to America and made slaves. And then the name of the slave master was given, which we refused. We rejected that name.
James, your name is Toby. I want to hear you say it. Your name is Toby. You're going to learn to say your name. Let me hear you say it. What's your name? Kunta Kinte. When the master gives you something, you take it. He gave you a name. It's a nice name. It's Toby. And it's going to be yours till the day you die. Now, I know you understand me. And I want to hear it. Again. I want to hear you say your name. Your name is Toby. What's your name? Lord God, help that boy. We're going to put him dead. What's your name? Say it. Toby. Who are you? Say your name. What's your name? Toby. Say it again. Say it louder so they all can hear you. What's your name? Toby. It's Toby. Hi.